Hi, Sean Stephenson here, and I want you to think right now of a time when your life was really working. You know what I mean by working. Like everything just seemed to flow, and everything fell into place. It's like it was easy to be you. And maybe you've never had that, but I'm hoping you have. And I can tell you that if you look back to those periods of your life, you can recreate them. You can allow yourself to go back in time and find what did you do when your life worked that maybe you're not doing right now. Our minds play tricks on us. It causes us to forget what works. Now, I don't know why. I'm sure if I really thought and looked at all the angles psychologically, I could produce a result on why that is. But really, what I know is we often forget to do what works. So this is what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you an assignment that is going to allow your life to work with ease. And I call it the When Life Works list. See, there's a strategy to everything. There's a strategy to when your life is working. There's a strategy to when your life's not working. So I made a list. I thought about all the times in my life when everything was working. And what was I doing? What were the little steps that many people could overlook? And I made this quick little list. And it might sound trivial, but really consider that you have a list as well. So here's my list, and it's kind of personal, but, I'm willing to share, whatever. Just don't laugh, because some of it's comical. Number 1, I work out 3 days a week. When I'm working out on 3 days a week, my life just seems to work. I flush out all the toxins. Number 2, I stay clean-shaven, or, just a light little beard. When I start growing tons of facial hair, it's like I feel all scruffy, like I'm stuck on some kind of deserted island, I feel like Tom Hanks and I'm talking to a volleyball. Anyway, I keep my space clean, my office and my house. I keep my car. I keep all these areas of my life clean. And when there's no clutter and they're clean, my life just seems to work. I shower regularly. I know what you're thinking. Gross. I wouldn't admit that. I did, because sometimes as a man who works for himself and sometimes works from his home, you can go a couple days in your PJs. And let me tell you, when you start to stink, you start to stink. Anyway, number 2, staying well hydrated. Not number 2, what am I talking about? This is like number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyway, staying hydrated. It's so simple, but by just keeping yourself liquid hydration going, that water, not all the fruit juices and sodas and other garbage, but just clean water, my brain works, because the brain is an electrical mechanism, and what conducts electricity better than water? So keeping your brain hydrated by drinking lots of water keeps my life working. When I'm reading a good book, when I have a good book that I'm actually reading and not just carrying around with me, but digging into, and I'm reading it in line at grocery stores when I'm waiting because I got it in my back pocket, or I'm reading it in the car when someone's driving me, or I'm reading on an airplane. When I'm reading, somehow my life works, and I think it's because my brain is being challenged. When I'm getting up early, and that could be anywhere from 6 to 7 a.m. or sometimes even 5 a.m. I heard that some people that are really successful, they get up at 4 in the morning. Now they go to bed at like 8 or 9 o'clock. But by getting up early, for me, this is what works for Sean, it's like I get a jump on the day. It's like everybody else is still sleeping and I get time that no one else is tapping into, and it gives me a head start. And the last one I've noticed is if I get 8 hours of sleep. For me, my life works when I get 8 hours of sleep. If I'm really staying hydrated and exercise, I can manage pretty well on 6 hours, but 8 hours is my ideal. Now that's what works for me. That is my WLW, when life works. And you need to figure out, when does your life work? You know, maybe it's when you're getting regular massages or pedicures or manicures, or you're spending time in meditation, or you're spending extra time with your children, or you're calling up your good buddy and talking to them once a week. I don't know what it is for you. Maybe it's when you work late and you're really in the zone until 2 a.m. I don't know. I do know, though, that you have a strategy for when your life works. And only when you make a list of when your life works will you really flesh out the truth to these individual components to your strategy. You also have a life list of when your life doesn't work. And if you want, you could make that list too. However, I don't want you focusing on that. I'd rather you focus on when it does work. Because if you make your life about moving away from something, then you sometimes naturally gravitate to it. But it's when you make your list about what you want to do, then you have a magnetic pull towards it. So, go make your list of when your life works, and then send me a comment. Tell me when your life works. What do you do? And then tell me how this list helped your life. I'm Sean Stephenson, and thanks for watching.